Have you ever met an older neighbor or a family friend who doesn't have much money? Yet every time you see them, they shine with joy. Maybe their house is small, as the furniture a little worn, and the car in the driveway is far from new. But when you step inside, you feel something rare. The warmth of a kitchen that smells of home-cooked meals, the laughter of grandchildren bouncing through the living room, the peace of a life that somehow feels full, even without wealth. And then you look around at others. People with larger homes, bigger retirement accounts, newer cars. Yet so many of them seem restless, are stressed, sometimes even lonely. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why is it that some people with so little money seem far happier than those with so much more? Stay with me, because today we're going to uncover the quiet wisdom behind this mystery. I want to share the habits, the daily choices, and the ways of thinking that allow many seniors to live richly in spirit, even when their wallets are thin. This is not about quick financial tips or miracle investments. It's about something deeper, something timeless. The kind of wisdom that can turn an ordinary afternoon into a gift. The kind of habits that money can't buy, but that can make your retirement years shine with meaning. So, grab a cup of coffee, settle into your chair, and let's walk through this story together. Like old friends on a porch swing, talking as the sun sets. I remember when I first noticed this difference. It was years ago, visiting an old gentleman named George in a quiet neighborhood in Ohio. George never had much in retirement, just his Social Security check, a tiny pension from the factory where he worked, and a backyard garden he loved. His house was modest, painted white, with peeling shutters and creaky steps. Yet every time I visited, his smile was brighter than the summer sun. One day, I asked him, "George, what's your secret? Don't you ever wish you had more?" He leaned back. I looked at his tomato plants lined up along the fence and said something I will never forget. "I don't count what I don't have. I count what I do. My health is still with me. My garden gives me food and joy. My children call me every week. My faith keeps me steady. That's enough for me." It wasn't that George had given up on dreams. It was that he had given up on comparing. And in that choice, he found freedom. Now, let me tell you, this is not just George's story. Across America, I have met countless seniors like him. People in small towns, in suburbs, even in busy cities. They don't chase luxury. They savor simplicity. They don't measure their life against others. They measure it by moments that matter: a good meal, a safe home, a kind word, a phone call from a friend. And here's the beautiful truth. These habits, these ways of living, they don't require millions. They don't require perfect circumstances. They are available to anyone, including you. So if you've ever worried, what if I don't have enough saved? What if I can't afford the lifestyle I dreamed of? Take a deep breath, because what we're about to explore may change the way you see retirement forever. In this journey together, we will look at the quiet treasures that happy seniors carry with them. We'll see how contentment, simple living, deep relationships, purpose, health, and gratitude weave together into a life richer than money alone can buy. Not as a checklist, but as a story. Because real wisdom doesn't live in bullet points. It lives in people, in the way they wake up each morning, in the way they greet their neighbors, in the way they whisper, "Thank you," before going to bed. By the end of our time together, you may see that your golden years don't need to be defined by the balance in your retirement account. They can be defined by something far more lasting: the peace in your heart, the strength of your relationships, and the meaning you create each day. So, let's begin. When I think of the power of simple living, my mind always goes back to a couple I once met in Texas. They lived in a small one-story home just outside of Dallas. Nothing about their house would impress you from the street. The shutters were faded. The yard was modest. And the kitchen had the same old wooden table they had bought more than 30 years ago. Yet the moment you stepped through the door, it felt alive. The smell of fresh cornbread filled the air. Soft music played in the background, and photographs of children and grandchildren lined the walls. They didn't talk about cruises or expensive vacations. They didn't dream about the latest car or remodeling the house. Instead, They spoke about their Saturday mornings at the farmer's market, the pies they baked together, and the joy of hearing birds sing outside their window. They showed me the herbs growing in small pots by the back door. And with a smile, they said, "This is our little piece of heaven." What struck me most was how they found beauty in things many of us rush past. The smell of coffee brewing in the morning, the simple comfort of holding hands during an evening walk. Their wealth wasn't in their bank account. It was in the way they savored the ordinary. And then there was Mary, a widow in Florida. She had lost her husband years before and lived alone on a fixed income. If you looked at her finances, you might have assumed she lived a lonely or difficult life. But every Sunday, her small house came alive. Neighbors stopped by. Members of her church brought their children. And her grandchildren ran from room to room with laughter that shook the walls. Mary would make a pot of stew, sometimes just stretching what little she had. Yet it always seemed enough. She used to tell me, "I may not have money to buy gifts, but I have love to give." And it was true. People didn't come for the food. They came for the warmth, for the feeling of being welcomed, for the sense that inside her little house, there was abundance of the kind that cannot be bought. Her story taught me something vital. Money can run out, but love, when shared, multiplies. It grows bigger each time you give it away. I also remember an old teacher named Mr. Harris. He had retired years earlier but couldn't stay idle. Every Tuesday afternoon, he volunteered at the local library, reading stories to children. On Thursdays, he tutored teenagers who were struggling in math. None of this brought him money, but it gave him something far more valuable: purpose. He once told me, "Retirement isn't the end. It's just a chance to serve life in a new way." His days were full, not with luxury, but with meaning. Watching his joy reminded me that when you wake up each morning with a reason to keep going, money loses its power over you. You don't feel empty. You don't feel restless. Instead, you feel alive. And what about health? I met two women who showed me opposite sides of this lesson. One had spent much of her retirement money on medications and treatments, many of which came from years of stress and poor habits. She confessed to me that she often wished she had taken better care of herself earlier, because now she felt trapped by her health. The other was an older woman in California who lived simply. She walked every morning through her neighborhood, greeting each passerby with a smile. She cooked her own meals, mostly vegetables from her small garden and fresh food from local markets. She drank plenty of water and went to bed early. She didn't have money for fancy gyms or expensive diets, but she was strong and full of energy. She told me, "Health is the real gold of old age. If you keep it, you can enjoy everything. If you lose it, no amount of money will bring it back." Her words stayed with me. Because isn't that true? Our bodies, our energy, our ability to walk, to breathe, to smile, those are treasures far beyond dollars. And then, the habit that ties all these lives together: gratitude. Every person I've met who lives happily with little money shares this one practice. They say thank you more than they complain. Thank you for a new morning. Thank you for the food on the table. Thank you for the sound of children's laughter. Thank you for the legs that carry them on a walk through the park. One man in his 70s told me, "When you count what you have instead of what you're missing, the numbers add up differently. Suddenly, life looks rich." And he was right. Gratitude shifts the lens. It turns scarcity into sufficiency. It changes the way we see the world. As I listened to these stories, I realized something. The happiest seniors aren't those with the biggest pensions or the largest homes. They are the ones who hold on to what truly matters: contentment, simplicity, relationships, purpose, health, gratitude. None of these require money, yet all of them create a richness beyond imagination. As we have walked together through these stories, I hope you feel the same quiet truth that has become so clear to me. Happiness in later life is not bought. It is not stored in a bank account or locked in a retirement plan. It grows in the heart. It breathes in gratitude. And it shines through in the relationships we build. I remember vividly one evening in a small town in the Midwest. The neighborhood gathered for a summer cookout. Children ran across the grass with sparklers in their hands, while parents and grandparents sat in lawn chairs, talking and laughing. I sat near two couples. One was younger, still working, with plenty of income. They spoke about a recent trip to Europe, the restaurants they had tried, the shows they had seen. Their words were polished, but there was tension in their voices, as if they were trying to convince themselves that the expense had been worth it. The other couple was older. Their house was small, their savings modest. They had not traveled far in years, but when they spoke, their eyes glowed. They talked about the tomatoes growing in their backyard, about the quilt they were sewing together for their granddaughter's wedding. Here's about the joy of sitting on the porch each evening to watch the sun dip below the trees. Their laughter was easy, their presence calm, and their happiness unmistakable. The contrast struck me deeply. One couple had more money, yet seemed restless. The other had less, yet seemed truly rich. And in that moment, the lesson was undeniable. True wealth is not about dollars. It is about meaning. This is the climax of our journey. Retirement is not about stepping away from life. It is about stepping into life differently. It is the time when the things that last rise above the things that fade. Money can fade. Possessions can fade. But gratitude, health, love, and purpose, they endure. So let us pause here. I want you to take a deep breath. Wherever you are listening, inhale slowly, exhale gently. And now, ask yourself this question. What do I have right now that no one can take away? Maybe it's your health, fragile but still present. Maybe it's the voice of a child or grandchild calling to check on you. Maybe it's the warmth of the morning sun through your window. Maybe it's the strength you've built from years of resilience. Whatever it is, that is your treasure. That is your wealth. Now, I want to speak directly to the worry that many of you carry. I know the fear of not having enough savings. I know the anxiety that creeps in when bills arrive, when prices rise, when the future feels uncertain. Those fears are real. They are heavy, and I do not dismiss them. But let me remind you of this. Your life is more than numbers on a page. Your value is not tied to a dollar sign. Your worth is written in the love you have given, the kindness you have shown, and the memories you have created. If you have spent nights wondering, will I be okay? Will I have enough? Please hear me when I say this. You already have more than you realize. You have today. You have this moment. And within this moment lies the power to choose how you will live. Here is my advice. Do not let fear steal the golden light of these years. Fear will whisper that you are not enough. Fear will say you need more, that you must compare, that you must grasp at what you cannot hold. Do not listen. Instead, listen to the quiet voice of gratitude. Gratitude says, look at what you already have. Gratitude says, celebrate the ordinary. Gratitude says, your life is richer than you know. Choose to nurture your health with simple acts. Walk each morning, not for speed, but for peace. Drink water as if it were medicine. Rest when your body calls you to. Eat meals that nourish you, even if they are simple. These choices are not luxuries. They are treasures you give yourself every day. Choose to invest in people, not things. Call your old friend. Write a letter to your sister. Share a meal with your neighbor. Invite your grandchildren into your home. Even if all you can offer is soup and laughter, they will remember the warmth, not the menu. Choose to live with purpose. You don't need to change the whole world, but you can change someone's day. Volunteer at the church, the library, the food pantry. Teach a child how to bake bread. Tell your stories to the younger generation, because your life is filled with lessons that no textbook can teach. Purpose gives each day meaning, and meaning makes each day rich. And above all, choose gratitude. Whisper, thank you in the morning when you open your eyes. Say thank you for the roof above your head, the hands that still move, the heart that still beats. Say thank you for the laughter of friends, for the breeze on your face, for the chance to wake up to another day. Gratitude turns scarcity into sufficiency. Gratitude turns worry into peace. Gratitude turns life itself into a gift. My friend, I know life has not been easy. I know you have faced challenges, losses, and disappointments. I know you may carry regrets about what you didn't save or what you didn't do. But please remember this, you are still here. You are still breathing. And that means there is still time for joy. There is still time for love. There is still time to live richly, no matter how much money you have. So tonight, when you lay down to rest, do not count what is missing. Count what is here. Count the people who love you. Count the health that remains. Count the blessings scattered across your life like stars in the night sky. And as you count, may your heart be filled with peace. Before we part, let me thank you. Thank you for walking with me through these stories. Thank you for opening your heart to these reflections. Thank you for giving me the honor of your time and your attention. It truly means more than you know. If this message touched you, I ask one thing: share it. Share it with a friend, a neighbor, a family member, because joy multiplies when it is passed on. And the wisdom of living richly with little is a gift the world needs now more than ever. May your days ahead be filled with peace, with laughter, and with love. May you never forget that the wealth you carry in your heart is greater than any number in a bank account. And may you always live happily, with gratitude as your guide, no matter how much or how little money you have.